Hello, everybody. Welcome. How are you all? Applause. Great. Can you hear me in the back? You can. Beautiful thumbs. Nice to see them. Thanks for braving clouds in Tucson. Sometimes that's a thing, and you're brave to be here. You've made a great choice with your Thursday night, and I want to commend you on it. My name is Tyler. I work here as the director at the Poetry Center, and lovely to have a big group here to welcome Marilyn Chin to Tucson, back to Tucson. We were realizing that it's been 20-some years, and so it's a delight to have Marilyn back in Tucson to read at the Poetry Center from her very terrific new book. And so one of the things I want to say is that books are for sale after the reading, including the newest one, Sage. And those are over at the book sale table, and they're happy to vend those books to you. If you've got extra money, that's a great place to put it. It's the holiday season. People you love need to read more poems. This is one way to take care of two things at once and support poets at the same time. I want to point out just a couple of things that are coming up at the Poetry Center. We have one last reading this fall, and that's on December 5th. And the thing to know about that is that December 5th is a Tuesday and not a Thursday. So our next reading and our last reading is on a Tuesday night, 7 o'clock back here at the Poetry Center. It's a terrific poet named Sharif Shanahan who will be here behind his most recent book, Trace Evidence, which was longlisted for the National Book Award this year. So we're really excited that Sharif is coming to Tucson. So come back for that. Sharif is also teaching a class at the Poetry Center, and that class still has a couple spots left. So if you're interested in taking a class, some of you might have taken Marilyn's class that was here last night. Sharif is teaching as well, and the class's title is Locating the Self, Intertextual Poetic Strategies, and it's about relationships between poets and precursors. So a poet that maybe comes before and then a contemporary poet that arises from that work. And thinking about your own work and relationship. So all of those details you can find out more about in the Handy Dandy calendar, which is good for about 3 or 4 more weeks. And then there'll be a new one to replace it with a lot of really exciting things coming up this spring. And we're really pleased for that season, and we'll be telling you more about that in the weeks to come. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome up a colleague and a friend who will introduce Marilyn, and that is the poet and professor and essayist Susan Briante. A professor of creative writing in the English department here at the U of A. Susan is also the faculty liaison and has done a lot of work building up the UA's field studies program, which sends graduate students into the field to do creative work and then kind of report back. It's a tremendous program. Her most recent book is an essay collection, a nonfiction title called Defacing the Monument, and it's from Noemi Press. Please help welcome my friend Susan Briante.
Thank you all. It is so nice to see you all. I feel like words have felt so divisive lately, and it's really, really beautiful to see a bunch of folks getting together to hear some words. So thank you, Poetry Center, thank you, Marilyn, and thank you to the universe for just even the smell of rain in the air right now, which for Tucsonans is it's like you're bringing the magic already. It's amazing. So I want to start by using the words of Marilyn Chin herself. In one moment, she described herself as, quote, an activist, subversive, radical, immigrant, feminist, transnational, Buddhist, neoclassical, nerd poet. And what is so fantastic about that phrase is that it's not even complete when you start to look at the trajectory of her work. Born in Hong Kong and raised in Portland, Chin once recalled that as a child, her grandmother carried her on her back, chanting Chinese poems and sayings. This bilingual and bicultural attunement would lay the foundation for groundbreaking writing that has done nothing less than expand the canon of poetry today. Chin has been credited with creating the Chinese American quatrain, the lyric manifesto, the erotic haiku, and the remix sonnet, and that's probably among other things. Adrienne Rich once said that Marilyn Chin's poetry, quote, excites and incites the imagination. Rich continued that reading her, our sense of the possibilities of poetry is opened further, and we feel again what an active, powerful art it can be. In addition to authoring 6 books of poems, including the most recent collection, Sage, as well as fiction, Chin has translated poetry by various Asian writers and edited groundbreaking anthologies of Asian American writing. She's won the prestigious Ruth Lily Prize, the Academy of American Poets Arts and Letters Award, the United Artists Foundation Award, the Radcliffe Institute Fellowship at Harvard, the list goes on. And I usually don't read those lists, but it just feels like there's so much, you gotta give it credit. She's been variously described as, quote, a poet of contradictions, poignant sentiment, beat your ass toughness, and unexpected humor. And I can tell you that she will seduce you 1 minute with an image. For example, this one's from her poem, Love Poem from Nagasaki, such as, quote, 10,000 dragonflies spinning around the moon. Then have you laughing out loud with the first stanzas of her poem, So You Fucked John Donne, which reads, I couldn't resist, so you fucked John Donne? Wasn't very nice of you. He was betrothed to God, a diet of worms for you. And then she'll leave you moved and mesmerized with questions from her identity poem, number 99, such as, are you baby's breath faced down on a teenage road in America? Are you earphones left dangling on an airplane jack to diaspora? In her Brown Girl Manifesto, she writes, quote, the speaking subject is always an oppositional voice. If the majority says, no dogs allowed, she says, grrr, and wags her tail and bites the man in the ass and won't let go. If the majority says, we don't want you, immigrant, we'll send you back, the speaking subject writes on the walls of Angel Island, I shall stay firm, I shall endure, I shall not be erased. Unerased, enduring, and firmly established as a poet of immense talent, Chin is an innovator whose experiments were born not just from her genius, but out of survival, born from her need to stretch a language and a tradition to accommodate her experience and vision. In doing so, she not only created and continues to create a stunning legacy, but she's made more room within that tradition for all of us. Please join me in welcoming Marilyn Chin.
Thank you, Susan, for such a wonderful introduction. Oh my gosh. I hope the reading lives up to that introduction. Goodness gracious. Well, thank you all for coming. Oh, I'm just so pleased to be here. I was here in the last century. What took you so long? I want to thank Paula and for being my guide through, through these couple of days. And I thank Claire McLean for teaching my book in her class. A lot of you are out there, youngsters, young poets out there. Thank you for your great questions during the class. I thank Susan for your wonderful introduction. Oh yes, Tyler. And the whole posse. It takes a village to take care of poets, right? Thank you so much. Okay, I'm just trying to feel the audience out there. So many. Oh, there's somebody dancing back there. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm gonna have fun. Okay, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna begin with the self-introduction of sorts. It's called How I Got That Name, an essay on assimilation. I always begin with this poem because it grounds the reading with biography, right? A little biography, okay. There's some made-up stuff as well. How I Got That Name, an essay on assimilation. I am Marilyn Chin. Oh, how I love the resoluteness of that first person singular, followed by that stalwart indicative of be, without that uncertain ing of becoming. Of course, the name had been changed somewhere between Angel Island and the sea when my father, the paper son, in the late 1950s, obsessed with the bombshell blonde, transliterated Mei Ling to Marilyn. Nobody dared question his integrity, given his nice, devout daughters and his bright, industrious sons, as if filial piety were the standard by which all earthly men were measured. Oh, how trustworthy our daughters, how thrifty our sons, how we managed to fool the experts in education, statistics, and demography. We're not very creative, but not adverse to rote learning. Indeed, they can use us, but the model minority is a tease. We know you are watching now, and we refuse to give you any. Oh, bamboo shoots, the further west we go, we'll hit east. The deeper down we dig, we'll find China. History has turned its stomach on a black polluted beach where life doesn't hinge on that red wheelbarrow. But whether or not our new lover in that final episode of Santa Barbara will lean over a scented candle and call us a bitch. Oh Lord, where have we gone wrong? We have no inner resources. Then one redolent morning, the great patriarch Chin peered down from his kiosk in heaven and saw that his descendants were ugly. One had a squarish head and a nose without a bridge. Another's profile long and knobbed as a gourd. The third, the sad, brutish one, may never marry. And I, his least favorite, not quite boiled, not quite cooked, a plump pomfret simmering in my juices. Too listless to fight for my people's destiny. To kill without resistance is not slaughter, says the proverb. So I wait for imminent death. The fact that this death is also metaphorical is testament to my lethargy. So here lies Marilyn Mei Ling Chin, married once, twice to so-and-so, a Lee and a Wong, daughter of the virtuous Yuan Wong and Gigi Chin, the infamous, sister of a dozen, cousin of a million, survived by everybody and forgotten by all. She was neither black nor white, neither cherished nor vanquished. Just another squatter in own bamboo grove, minding her poetry, when one day heaven was unmerciful and a chasm opened where she stood, like the jaws of a mighty white whale or the maw of a metaphysical Godzilla. It swallowed her whole. She did not flinch, nor writhe, nor fret about the afterlife, but stayed solid as wood, happily, though gnawed, tattered, mesmerized by all that was lavished upon her and all that was taken away. So that's a dramatic monologue, and no, not slam, I was told. But there are many ways to write an immigrant anthem. So this one is called Blues on Yellow. Okay, let me stop for a minute. The canary died in the gold mine. Her dreams got lost in a sieve. The canary died in the gold mine. Her dreams got lost in the sieve. Her husband, the crow, killed under the railroad. The spokes had shorn his wings. Something's cooking in Chin's kitchen. 10,000 yellow-bellied sapsuckers baked in a pie. Something's cooking in Chin's kitchen. 10,000 yellow-bellied sapsuckers baked in a pie. Something's cooking in Chin's kitchen. Die, die, yellow bird, die, die. Oh, crack an egg on the griddle, yellow will ooze into white. Oh, crack an egg on the griddle, yellow will ooze into white. Run, run, sweet little Puritan, yellow will ooze into white. If you cut my yellow wrists, I'll teach my yellow toes to write. If you cut my yellow wrists, I'll teach my yellow toes to write. If you cut my yellow fists, I'll teach my yellow feet to fight. Do not be afraid to perish, my mother. Buddha's compassion is nigh. Do not be afraid to perish, my mother. Our boat will sail tonight. Your babies will reach the promised land. The stars will be their guide. I am so mellow yellow, mellow yellow. Buddha sings in my veins. I am so mellow yellow, mellow yellow. Buddha sings in my veins. Oh, take me to the land of the unreborn. There's no life on earth without pain. Sorry I pointed at you, Tyler. You're part of the conversation here. You're part of the performance. Okay. Okay, so I'll read a little from from Sage. It's my newest child, so so we're celebrating his birth this year. I'll begin with the first poem. It's called "Looking for the Sage," and it sort of makes fun of those Tang Dynasty, sage poems in which the sage is out there in the woods contemplating the universe. And it's always this 100-year-old dude, with a white goatee. Yeah, and so this one. And it's a very simple poem. We talked a little bit about going back to the basics. Going back to like anaphora, right? And clarity and maybe subversive clarity. Okay. Looking for the sage. Some say she moved in with her ex-girlfriend in Taiwan. Some say she went to Florida to wrestle alligators. Some say she went to Peach Blossom Spring to drink tea with Tao Chen. Miho says she's living in Calexico with 3 cats and a gerbil named Max. Some say she's just a shadow of the great society, a parody of what might have been. Riha saw her stark raving mad between 23rd and Avenue of the Americas, wrapped in a flag. I swear I saw her floating in a motel pool, topless on a plastic manatee, palms up. What in hell was she thinking? What is poetry? What are stars? Whence comes the end of suffering? Yes. I call it radical clarity. That's what I'm doing lately. We'll see if I'll stick to that. This one is called You Go, Me Stay, 2 Autumns. And I wrote this book during the pandemic, so there's a lot of, this poem is about the neighborhood during the lockdown and about my crazy neighbors and what's happening politically and so forth. The title comes from a haiku by Masaoka Shiki, who his dates are 1867 to 1902, and he wrote 20,000 haikus. So, I live in. Normally, I live in San Diego on the border of TJ, right? And so there's a lot going. It's a border poem, yeah. And what else? I'm using Chinese parallel couplets, and also I'm using hip hop polysyllabic rhymes. So perhaps you will hear all those influences. Okay. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. Also, audience, you have, that's a refrain, and you please speak the refrain when it, with me when I cue you, right? Okay. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. Wipe your lipstick off the milk carton. Get off your high horse and wicked palanquin. Dye your ancestral roots, kryptonite day glow. Paint your posable thumbs, urban decay bonobo. Photobomb a grief group, confess you're happy. Hang upside down off a moonbeam, screech like a banshee. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. Donne and Keats scratching tunes in the kitty litter, purring poetry and God through a negative iron capacitor. Air hug your biker neighbor, not too tight, she might bite. Rock roses and jasmine bathe in chain-linked light. Queen bees a hiving beyond meat on the Barbie. Squid ink gnocchi, 6 foot away, still looks nasty. You've been knocking down mojitos, face-licking boy chicks at the grotto. Aunties decoupling, sending you back to Idaho. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. Catch a midge in midair, kiss her skinny lips, let go. A raven attacks my wig, he's Edgar Allan Poe. Twittering in twilight, raptors killing doves. Some singing about inequality, some crooning love. Don't fall for the pool boy, ain't got a pool. Don't fall for the girl boy, can't do ambiguity. But please wear an N95 face mask if you want to see me. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. June says you're too quiet, Mei-Ling. Go shout at a rainbow. Adrienne says, come visit Michelle and me for utopian fish gumbo. Why do I speak to the dead? 'Cause the living are a-holes. Sorry about that. Fat man, little boy, someone will hit bottom. Why worry about nuclear winter? Our species will be forgotten. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. The princess on the left says you rhyme with rich. The princess on the right says your poetry is shit. Over 1 million dead, better stay home. You might be next. I'm not funnier than Stevie Smith waving her undies. Not funnier than Margaret Cho. I'm not that bold. Funnier than Aristophanes? The frogs croak. No, oh. Some really nerdy references here for English majors, right? You go, me stay, 2 autumns. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. Is that a 19th century Mauser, or are you happy to see me? Don't brag about your viral load. You're a peon amongst peonies. Hating black people, though one is your brother. Hating white people, though one is your mother. Killing racism like killing lice. Bomb it, raid it, will return. Minnesota nice. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. Visited Granny Wong in her raised metal bed, helped her to root erase aubergine drag. She told this story, sorry, my translation is bad. One day, whilst shopping at Walmart, a hoodlum grabbed my brocade purse and called me a stupid old chink. I chased him down the parking lot, hooked his ankle with my phoenix claw cane, dragged him home in my flying wheelchair, reciting the Dharma of 6 thieves, steamed some butterfly shrimp dumplings in celestial garlic persimmon cream. He gorged 3 bowls and licked a spoon, then napped in my lazy boy like a prince. I said, I call your mother to fetch you. He said, but my mother is dead. Praise the mysterious female, mysterious female. Praise the mysterious female, mysterious female. I met a masked vaquera at the border fair. We line danced to Cupid Shuffle, an achy, breaky heart. She loved Selena, Shakira, and cumbia bands. Don't remember much now, but the pony can dance. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. You go, me stay, 2 autumns. Thank you. Thank you for your participation. This is, the students like this one. It's called If, not by Rudyard Kipling. And it is filled with, literary jokes. I'm sorry about that, but I'm really into puns and silly jokes lately, and rhyming, and silly stuff like that. Going back to my childhood loves. Yeah, okay. If you wear a red dragon on your dress, they'll call you Oriental. If you wear pink jammies in the rain, they'll call you a big baby and still call you Oriental. If you dance naked eating plums, 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 with a side of white meat chicken, they'll call you Oriental by way of Williams. That's a nerdy joke for the English majors, for the modernists especially. If you wear a dragon dress size 18, they'll call you an elephant. If you wear a dead fox on your head, they'll elect you president. Speak in growls and tweets and threats. You are proud to buy American. He'll sell you a piece of Plymouth Rock and 72 virgins in heaven. Yeah, you are stupid, but you are ours, stupid. If you are pure of blood, you must not be an American. Professor Gates will shake your ancestral tree and prove that you are half pangolin. I'd rather be one than eat one. I'd rather eat one than be one. If a conditional marries a conjunctional, you would be a pink-eyed proposition. That's for the math nerds. From the perspective of a gull, we are a raft of tasty excrement. Oh, gray and lonely April day, T.S. Elephant, T.S. Elephant. a joke for the poets there. Okay. Oh, well, it's... Okay. So, I said to myself that I would only write haiku if they're dirty. So I wrote, a bunch of haiku. I'll read those, and then I'll read my new series called Lockdown Impromptu. They're haiku, but they're not really haiku. But I'll read the ones from my selected first. Yeah, my selected came out 2019, and the paperback came out during the pandemic, so I didn't really have a chance to celebrate it that much. Let me look at the haiku. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Okay, there. Okay. Okay, so 25 haiku. 100 red fire ants scouring the white peony. Fallen plum blossoms return to the branch. You sleep, then harden again. Sir, I think you're too young to be listening to these haiku, right? I'm just teasing. He's really sweet, okay? Cuttlefish in my palm stiffens with rigor mortis. Boy toys can't love. Neighbor's barn, grass mat, crickets, blue boy, trowel handle, dress soaked in mud. Iron-headed mace, double-studded halberd, slice into emptiness. Oh, fierce ogoos, tie me to 2 wild elephants, tear me in half. Oh, my swarthy herder, 2-hump Bactrian, drive me the long distance. Forceps, tongs, bushy, whip, flanks, scabbard, stirrup, goads, distaff, wither, owl. Black-eyed Susans, Queen Anne's lace, bounty of cyclamen, moan paths erupt. Gaze at the charred hills, the woe-begone chaos. We are all God's hussies. I have not fondled the emperor's lapdog, whose name is Black Muzzle. Urge your horses into the mist-swilled Galilee, O sweet Bedlamite. Her Majesty is rounding up the jeweled stairs to find the pleasure dome. Ancient pond, the frog jumps in and in and in the deep slap of water. The frog jumps into the ancient pond. She says, "No, I am not ready." Coyote cooked his dead wife's vagina and fed it to his new wife. I plucked out 3 white pubic hairs, and they turned into flying monkeys. Let's do it on the antimacassar, That's a nerdy reference. Little Red drew her teeny pistol from her basket and said, "Eat me." Chimera, Madame Pol Pot grafting a date tree onto a date tree. His unworthy appendage, his mutinous henchman, graze my pink cheeks. He on top now changes to bottom. Goddess welcomes her devotee. Fish, fish, fowl, fowl, mock me, Mistress Bean Curd. I am both duck and essence. Sing, sing, little yellow blight. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Don't touch him, bitch. We're engaged. And besides, he's wearing my nipple ring. The last haiku is a found haiku because I heard it, I heard one of my students saying something to that effect into her cell phone. So it's a found haiku. So, so during the pandemic, I went to my local duck pond and I wrote hundreds of haiku, and I called these. And I selected some for the new volume for Sage, and I called them Lockdown Impromptu. So, boyfriend snoring on the yoga mat. Who are you fucking in the underworld? He says you eat bat shit. I say I love plums, plums, plums. Left hand useless, right hand strumming a flesh guitar. No, I am not lonely. Denial is a river in Egypt. I know, that's a bad pun, I know. I entered the gateless gate and stole your vibrator. The bell rings, Buddha wagging his tail. Hair flowing past my ass, white roots, tincture of autumn. Revolutions are bloody, young militants sipping frappuccino. A soul tablet flies through air, decapitates your ancestor. Stone by stone, democracy crumbling into a race war. Why worry? Just blow your brains with stinkweed. I am not exceptional. I am green. 2 red ants licking up my calf. Not now, little sisters. Don't say we are nothing. Year after year, the pear tree blossoms. Thank you. I think by request, I'm going to read I guess my only sci-fi poem. And it's called Solitary Animal. And I call it a free villanelle. Sometimes, I write in perfect form, and then I do variations, and sometimes the variations are more interesting than the formal version. Solitary Animal. The solitary animal walks alone. She has no uterus. She has no bone. She slithers around dark bars and libraries. She carves a beautiful girl on the cave wall, dances with Aurora Borealis, but goes home alone. We are 7.5 billion thrust onto Earth together. We are not alone. We shout at the stars. Perhaps a Martian is listening. She, he, they, with 10,000 antennae, transversal labia, quivering, searching for love. Your half-drawn monolid eyes are most tantalizing. May I take you home? Slime you with a green kiss. Breathe magma into your bones. Claw rainbows onto your lips. Redecorate your home. or vertebrae are vibrating, signaling we are not alone. Sacrificed by a greedy admiralty, we shall be devoured headfirst by reptilian clones. Inch backward into your fern pods, why don't ya? Baby, I call you, but you are not home. Somewhere in the cosmos, or lies are reverberating. Fake news is sad news. Shrapnel calcifying into bone. Each day we begin on earth as a dying person. Each breath is less than yesterday. We shall die alone. Well, that's pretty bleak, right? Okay. I feel better now. I think there are Martians out there after all, and they'll save us. This one is called Shadowless Shadow. Yeah, for a dog lover out there. The great matriarch says, there's a dog who barks at his own shadow, which is not there, for in midday sun, there is no shadow. Notice if I give him a dumpling or a chew toy, he stops barking, but he does not stop when he sees his shadowless shadow. He barks with warning, with alarm. He barks louder and louder, snapping his jaws, swallowing sputum on his haunches, ready to pounce. He's afraid of what is not there, like you, Mei-Ling, when you wake up gasping for breath, thinking you might die, that ICE agents will come with a choke chain. Poor dear, he wants to protect us from the unseen, the unexpected, the unknowable. This is very bad luck in the neighborhood to constantly fear the harbinger of doom. Should we then euthanize him, put him out of his misery? To prophesize destruction is to invite bad omens, to stare into the abyss. Or should we calm him, caress him, give him shelter? Let's call him by his birth name and take away his power. Let's shout hashtag no collusion, gut boat, Death Star, Apocalypse, Mara, Diabolus, Beelzebub. Let's call him the one who understands vacuity. Let's not fear him, but love him. Offer the pink leash, for he is your dog and he is mine. One of my students said, that's rather a cheesy ending. He should bite and be, be nasty and ferocious, right? Don't offer the pink leash. Something funny about offering a pink leash. I think that's funny. Oh, wait, okay. It's kind of ridiculous, okay? I'm gonna read some fake sonnets. Because I've yet to write a perfect Shakespearean or Italian sonnet. I can't. The sonnets they start sounding like Elizabethan Chinglish, so I have to write fake sonnets. And this one is called Girl Sage. I'm the yellow girl who flunked algebra, calculus, Sudoku, all matter of math, who shouted precepta exclita on the debate team, then vaped all night reading Sylvia Plath. Skipped social studies because, duh, I'm antisocial. TikToked a bloody dance battle with Norco girl gang trash. Granny canes me hard, make me kowtow to some toothless, clawless ancestor. Brother shouts, you're a disgrace to our race, loser brat. Time to escape in my Shaolin jetpack. Avenge the fallen mothership, never turn back. The sage wears a double-bladed necklace. So what? The world is unjust. So, yeah. So another fake sonnet. I call them sonnet niece, half sonnet, half Chinese lyric. This one is called Advice for E. Be the stealth between stones, the abracadabra among clones. Be the fighting fish with a fancy tail, the wizard who deifies gnomes. No worry, be happy, missiles flying while innocents are dying. You're pretty nimble for your age. One day a wombat, next day a sage. On the way to feeding a despot, you summoned your rage. Most virtuous mother, don't be fooled. They will bomb our shelter, scorch our earth, unwind, regroup, turn swine into pearl. Be the change you want to see in the girl. So any requests from the students out there who were forced to read my book? Forced. Any requests?
A remembrance for David Wong Louis.
Oh, yes. Did you know David? Oh, geez. Yeah. Yeah, I had, we lost so many important people. So yesterday we talked about the Hebrew Bible, about Whitman and Ginsburg and the long line exultant prayer in the long line poem, and so I wrote this remembrance for our friend David Wong Louis, a fiction writer who died 3 years ago. I remember, and okay. Blessed are thy children, Jules and Sonia, possessors of the past, heralds of the future. Blessed thy true love, thy soulmate Jackie, and her eternal beauty, fragrant black hair of compassion, red lips of merciful sacrifice. Blessed our cozy home, our dream palace of light. Blessed are thy sister and brothers. Blessed father's Long Island laundromat and mother's Chinatown Confucius Plaza of moribund rectitude. Blessed are Jaja and Genius, piebald creatures, bold in her suit, rapidly democratic and ridiculous. Blessed be thy art, by lushness, thy silences, grueling walls that terrorize the mind. Blessed that we shall finally write the great American epic to shame Homer and Proust, humiliate Aristophanes, troll Roth, and tickle Hemingway. We shall frolic with the fearless Queequeg and conquer the elusive great white whale in the afterlife. Blessed are the UCLA food trucks steaming with greasy street tacos, frowsy tamales, and hollow. Blessed is JR Seafood, waxing and waning between boiled sacred beef and tepid spirit lobster, godless geoduck, salty, smelly fish on reluctant pork patties from the ancients. Blessed are capon stuffed with frankincense and myrrh and transmigrating black bean sauce ubermensch souls. Blessed the narrow roads of Venice, fake redacted canals of quiet desperation, of curated miniature jungles, manicured curs and mastiffs, gondola Teslas, tiny houses that shout transient opulence. Blessed are the unfinished bamboo floors, decomposing kitchens, malignant architects, carpenter ants who praise the Lord whilst tunneling corridors toward purgatory. Blessed the tall tales of the university, the hierarchical splendor and interior squalor. Blessed thy students blossoming with cumulonimbus, purple adjectives. I can't even pronounce that one. Blessed thy friends, black, brown, pink, yellow, whitish, with eternal tans, furred, balding, fitfully unencumbered, narcissistic, and mad. Blessed are the hypocrites, liars, sour-faced poets, littering along the river Naranjana. Blessed are the solipsistic fat chefs. That means you, Guy Fieri. Why are you so famous? Blessed the haters to whom we send 1,000 cuts of good fortune, 1,000 drums of cheap Beaujolais, bottoms up fools and ignoramuses, for David has slayed Goliath and has finally achieved transcendence. Blessed are thy past loves, apologies, and a gut laugh. Blessed are the voice boxes that cannot speak, tongues that cannot taste, loins that cannot blossom, limbs that cannot embrace. Blessed be our body ravaged by disambiguated joy. Blessed that interstitial loneliness, our ultimate surrender. Namo Bhagwan, blessed be the universal light Buddha. Namo Pujing Fo, blessed be the universal purity Buddha. Namo Domo Guanmo Mana, something. Blessed the aromatic cassia sandalwood Buddha. Namo Dabe Guan Fo, blessed be the great, compassionate Buddha of light. I have to practice that one. It's kind of, those polysyllabics, yeah. Other requests? 'Cause some of you were forced to read the book, you poor dears. A captive audience. Did I hear something?
The Ballad of Student X.
The Ballad of Student X? You want to hear that? Okay. Okay. Okay, the Ballad of Student X. I know, yeah, we're teachers and this is a composite character. I used to teach this class of 200 students at San Diego State, and it was filled, I guess the news got out that I was an easy teacher, and it was filled with fraternity, boys. And, they'd come to class on the skateboards drunk, and you know how yeah. What page is that? Okay, let me find it. Okay. Okay. And it's an old-fashioned story ballad, so I'm going back to doing old-fashioned stuff now. It's called, and so the Ballad of Student X. It's a composite character, so a bit exaggerated. In TJ, he downed 8 shots of mezcal, ate the worm. 2 prostitutes and a hellhound stole his skateboard and hundreds in cash. stabbed his friend while he blacked out in a ditch. His mother wired me $5,000 to bail him out. He's an animal, a jackass, but he's my student. If he dies in a TJ prison, he'll be on my conscience. She said he got straight A's and decent SATs, captain of the football team in junior high. After my divorce, he went through a bad patch. Could have been All-American. He's exceptional. Give him a break. He wrote from rehab, I found God. A tweet from a halfway house, he saw Krishna. At a dude ranch, he shouted Allah on a mountaintop. He cried for salvation, world peace, and love. Some 12-step blather, don't believe a word of it. Spring break, he smashed into a tuk-tuk in Chiang Mai, maimed an old pedestrian in Phuket, plied them with cash, no questions asked. Can you give me an incomplete and comment on my poems? There's one about my grandmother who died of COVID. We shared a virtual hug, teared up on Zoom. Next week, he drove his Beamer off a cliff. Lucky he landed on a giant banyan tree. Got away without a scratch. Instagrams of frat parties, sake bombs at Yuki's, arms around bronze girls in bikinis and sunsets. Please, Professor, 2 more days. I'm blogging about MLK, writing an opus, hand-rolling Maui Wowie for social justice. Last week, he came to me in a dream, dressed for Mortal Kombat, lizard green. After decapitating a jihadist and 3 cleaver-wielding ghouls, he emerged from a flaming school bus, showered and shaved. How we heal this nation, I do not know. Primal sins erupt through tortured souls. He graduated with his brothers, magna cum laude, chanting liberté, égalité, fraternité, or death. That's an old-fashioned ballad with off rhymes. It's just, forgive me, students. It's a composite character. It's not one, it's an exaggerated character. But, they really, yeah, that's what happens. That's how we poets get revenge. We write about you and exaggerate. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Another request? Okay. To end. Let me see.
Fruit poems?
Huh?
We got one of the fruit poems.
Fruit.
Fruit.
The doodle there with the long hair likes the fruit poems. They're pretty nasty fruit. Okay, are you ready for the nasty fruit poems? Okay. All right. All right, okay. These are these little fruit poems that have a bite. Yeah. They're weaponized fruit. They may be squishy and sweet on the outside, but yeah. This one is called Melon. Melon is hard on the outside, tender on the inside. She has a magnificent personality. So they bred her with an invasive species. Now she is seedless and childless, has become uncouth and jokey. She will die on the vine. Cherry. Her grandmother says cherry is sweet, and kind. If you ruin her, I'll come to your house, drag you out by your ear, take a hard branch off your crooked ancestry tree, and beat you blind. And when I'm dead, I'll haunt you, curse you, throw magic spells, turn you into a hapless, gonadless monkey just for thrills. Oh my God, that's a nasty fruit poem. Onion, not a fruit. That's in parentheses, it says not a fruit. They chopped off your head during the revolution. Although you have a French passport, I can tell you are a faker from your bad accent. How dare you think that you could float to the top in the soup of history? Do you remember the French Revolution? You guys are too young. Dude back there with the long hair is too young. Peach. Okay, the kids like this one. This one is for Paul Gauguin, who brought syphilis to Tahiti. So this is his 12-year-old lover talking back to him from his paintings. Peach. I shaved off all my fuzz, even around my navel, because you are a sick fool and like shaved girls. You take a first bite, expecting to get juicy, but instead you get a mouthful of needles from a shaman in Tahiti. Eggplant. Your mother's eggplant kept on the vine too long, black now, cracked and overripe. Should I throw her out? Please don't. Let's make use of her for the autumn equinox. We'll dry the belly in the sun and replant the seeds. Bowl. I'm a Cherimoya migrant, not a crazy rich Asian. Don't put us all in the same bowl in a tropical jamba juice swirl. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Great audience. I hope I didn't shock you enough.
Let's do one more round of applause for Marilyn Chin. So there are books for sale over here, am I right? And we hope you'll come up and buy some, and Marilyn is happy to sign those. And we'll hope to see you again at Sharif Shanahan's reading on December 5th. Thanks, everybody, for coming tonight. All right.